this particular handrail I have here is one that I cut out and I haven't yet put together. But I use these kind of what I call handrails, or pieces of galvanized metal. I use this for not only just handrails, but I use it for guardrails along their highway too. So, I put it in here, and I can paint it. I can hold it down with the push pins. I can hold it down so it keeps it at an even height. Here, let me pull that. There you go. Okay, so I can paint this. I can put intermediate railings in there, and this is really a galvanized wire mesh. It's real rigid. It's like an 18 gauge. It's kind of heavy, and what I do is, it's hard to even roll out, and so I'll snip it, right along here, and I'll go as far as I want, or what I need. So you can see I've stopped it right there. And so I'll cut this, and because it's been rolled up for so long, it's hard to keep straight. So what I do is, once the piece I cut, I'll go ahead and place it down here, and it'll bow up depending on how long it is, and I will hold it down with these push pins. So I'll do that. Okay, what I wanted to show you is I buy this drywall meshing at a local hardware store. You can get it at Lowe's, you can get it at Home Depot, you can get it at Ace Hardware. You get it pretty much anywhere. Even Walmart carries this. It's about, I don't know, $4 or $5. It's pretty cheap. But what I do to make my fences, cow fences, railing, is I'll take this and I'll cut a piece off. And what I do is I'll take a piece of railing that I'm wanting to put the intermediate posts on, and I'll take it and I will put it on here, and I'll cut the size that I need, like that. And then what I do is I take and I start peeling off the string like this, and what I do is I take my styrofoam, I will place the part that I want to fence, and I put this down on here. Let me slide this around so you can see where I'm at. So this is what I do. Now I have to use what they call foam pins, and I buy these at Woodland Scenics, but you can get them at Hobby Lobby, and you can get them at Joann Fabrics. But what I do is I will put my push pin, I'll push it down, and I will put these where I want them. Unfortunately with this though, you say, well, why am I using that versus string? Because it's very small. Scale wise, this is the drywall mesh is a good scale. String tends to be a little bit longer, a little bit wider diameter, and it doesn't look right. So this is what I use. But I will put it like that. And then what I do is I take my Elmer's glue and I tap it right on the post, but I just put a little bit on there, just a little bit. And what that does is, it's with the toothpick, it just puts enough on there that holds it on there, but not so much that it's globbed on there. Okay, what I wanted to show you as well is the screen mesh. Yeah, I take screen mesh. This is just a piece that actually it was thrown out. I got it at the trash, and you can see where, you know, someone ripped it out of their window, screen door, something like that. Now what I've done is I've cut a piece off, and it's kind of hard to cut because it's such a small scale. And what I use is I just use a regular pair of scissors. Let me cut this. Okay. And I'll do the same thing. So I'll take my, piece of wire here that I've cut from the chicken wire, and I put it down, and I measure that. That's about good there. And what I do is I'll get to see to see how much I need. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 squares. So what I do is, let me move this out of the way. I cut down 4 squares. So I have something that looks like that. And then what I do is I just follow the same steps. So I put down my railing, I put down my intermediate railing, like that. I use my foam pins where I want them, and I'll hold them into place. Like that. You can use as many as you want. You can make it as tight on there as you want. And then what I do is I dip the end of the toothpick in some Elmer's glue, and I just tap it on there on each of these posts, and it dries. I mean, it dries pretty quickly, so you can make a lot of fencing really fast. Okay, here is the railing that I used, that I just showed you, with the wire mesh, the small mesh from the window screen. And you'll see I made this overhead line, and I made it because I wanted a city scene here. So this is my city scene. This is all in scale, and I made this railing. In fact, I made all of this. All of this overhead that you see here, I made with chicken wire. I also use evergreen scale model plastics. And so you can see that this one here says metal roofing. Now, evergreen has a number of types of metal plastic for metal roofing. This is a 1/4 inch spacing, which is essentially this. Now, unfortunately, you see I've already started painting it, but they make different widths of the ribs, and so I use this rib spacing here, which is like 1/16 of an inch, and I use this when I make my building. I also go to Hobby Lobby and I buy stuff like this. I just buy, whatever I think I can use on a model. So I'm going to show you how I've used this on my ski resort, my ski lifts, my chair lifts. I've used these. I also use these on the sawmill. And so I use this on the gantry crane to give it a look of realism. And so just provides opportunities, and you can buy these real cheap. But I also plan on using maybe like this for actually creating, a saw. Okay, now here is a scene that I used the same chicken wire for the guard railing. See, I use that chicken wire for all, whoops, got a wreck there. I use that same chicken wire for all my guard railing. I'm going to pan out here some so you can see. I also use the chicken wire to make my bridge and the platform here. So really what I wanted to tell you, the tricks of the trade is you don't have to go expensive with any of this stuff. I use chicken wire. I use chicken wire for a lot of different applications. I use it for the guard railing. I use it for the railing for the sawmill. I use it for the railing from an overhead track that goes through downtown. And I used it for the swinging bridge. And I've got a number of other applications here that I've used it. I use it on fencing. I use it everywhere, really. In fact, while I'm standing here, I want to show you another scene that I used the chicken wire for. You see that? So this is my scene for an armory. Of course, my kids are down here. They play with my stuff, so you know it's all over the place. But I use chicken wire for all of this. So you can go out. You can spend less than $10 and you can make enough railing, guard railing, scenes with chicken wire and drywall tape. That's the mesh or old screen for your entire layout. You can buy this at Hobby Lobby. This is bass. I recommend using basswood because balsa wood's kind of fuzzy, and balsa wood also, when you're cutting really small cuts, it tends to flake or splinter very easily, but basswood does not. So these are the tricks of the trades that I use. They give a great quality product at the end. It's real cheap to do, and I think it gives a level of realism for your model. So feel free to ask me any questions. I'm not an expert at any of this stuff. I try to do things on the cheap, but I think that if I can do it, I know you can too. All right. Have a great day. Train on, and I'll talk to you later.